What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of the Narcissist Code. I'm your favorite self-aware narcissist, Mr. Lee Hammond, better known as Mental Healness across all social media platforms. If this is your first time seeing my face or hearing my voice. I'm a diagnosed narcissist, and I use my platform on social media to raise awareness for NPD, get more people into therapy, and then also validate the victims and survivors of said disorder. Today's episode is going to be about good narcissists, bad narcissists. Good narcissist, bad narcissist. Good cop, bad cop. How the narcissistic person plays both roles. How the narcissistic person is good and bad at the same time. And it messes your mind up. It gets you addicted to narcissistic people. How did I get addicted to this person? How did I get trapped in this relationship? Because they are more than one person balled up into one body. It is just absolutely true. So if you have kids, you'll get this reference. There is a character. You ever seen the Lego movie? The Lego movie that has what's your man's name? Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt is in the Lego movie. And she played, like, Chris Pratt is in the Lego movie, right? And I think Morgan Freeman is in it as well. Liam Neeson plays a character in that movie. He's a good cop and the bad cop. Like, he just switches his face over and he's the bad cop. He's like, it's time for some bad cop. And he just switches his face over. That is damn near the perfect representation of a narcissistic person. It just absolutely is. The good cop and the bad cop are the same exact person. Which is why a lot of people get stuck in these narcissistic dynamics, because the good cop is also the bad cop. The good person is also the bad person. The firefighter is also the arsonist. The kidnapper is leading the search party for the kidnappee. You know what I mean? you see what I'm saying? The devil is the head of the damn church. That's what type of stuff. The devil is the pastor at your church right there. Believe that's impossible because the devil cannot get in the church. You explaining how these evil ass bastard pastors be getting up here lying and manipulating people up here in front of these church sermons then. But that's a whole nother topic, right? That might be video number 2 today. But seriously, think about it right there, y'all. That's how a lot of people get addicted to narcissistic people, because it's not all bad. It's just not. It's not all bad. Just be truthful. It's not always all bad. That's one thing I hear from so many people. It wasn't always this bad. It just got this way. I don't know what happened to make it this way, but it just got this way. It wasn't always this way. We were good once. We were lovers once. The love bombing phase was intense. It was just love bombing like no other. The cheeks were just clapping to the sound, like to the drum of the beat. The cheeks were clapping, sound like a rain dance, like doom 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 doom. Sound like the beginning of a Creed at a Creed concert. Doom 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 doom. We're halfway there. Yeah, I'm just joking. I'm stop. But seriously, y'all, the beginning of a relationship with narcissistic people are typically going to be the highest times. That's why when I'm describing this to people, it's like it's kind of like a roller coaster ride, but it's kind of hard to describe as a roller coaster nowadays when I think about it. It's just like narcissistic relationships start off at the top of Mount Everest. Let's just say your relationship with the narcissist is a mountain, right? You start it's like you get airdropped to the top of the mountain. You don't even have to climb there. You don't have to work hard to get to the top of the mountain. You get airdropped. Narcissistic relationships, you feel like you get airdropped to the end of the relationship. Everybody moves so fast. You're already at the peak. You're already peaking at the beginning. Sometimes your friends and family just, hey, you're moving kind of fast. How y'all living together in 7 days? Damn. How you co-signed a lease for them? What was their credit like? 540? So you co-own a car together and y'all living together in 2 weeks? Yikes. Oh, y'all are pregnant. Yikes. You get airdropped to the top of the mountain. That's why it all goes downhill. That's why typically the beginning of a relationship with a narcissistic person is going to be the highest that you will ever get in this relationship. It just is. The good person. They're the good person. They're the best person for you. There are red flags. People keep saying there are no red flags. Yo, there are always going to be red flags. You have to have your red flag meter out. You can't be colorblind. Narcissistic people try to move so fast that you become colorblind to the red flags. The red flags look green. They look blue. They look pink if they move real fast. You like pink, don't you? You mean? That's what it is. You get airdropped at the peak of the mountain and you go downhill. You go downhill. You love the top of the mountain. The narcissistic person is comfortable at the bottom of the mountain. That's why when they're treating you terribly, the same person that had you at the top of the mountain is now treating you terribly at the bottom of the mountain. You know they can treat you good. So you're trying to get back to the top of the mountain. You're trying your hardest to get back to the top of the mountain. But guess what? The narcissists took off their climbing shoes. They done. They got you. Y'all married with kids now. It's gonna be hard for you to escape. But you know what the top of that mountain feels like, so you know the potential is there. You can see the mountain peak. You know how you at the bottom of the mountain, you can look up and see it. There's cloud cover, but you can see the top of the mountain. You planted a flag up there, didn't you? You can see it. The same person who had you at the top of the mountain is the same person who's down here at the bottom. But now they're their real self. This is their real self at the bottom. They're uncomfortable at the top of the mountain because that's not who they really are. They did it to get you. They mirrored you to get you there. You fell on typically narcissistic people are going to mirror you and you fall in love with yourself. Good cop, bad cop, same person. The face flip. Y'all have to go watch the Lego movie or just Google Liam Neeson Lego movie. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Liam Neeson, good cop, bad cop. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about in the Lego movie. You mean they smack it? Look, he had the little smiley faces, the good cop, and they smack him, and he gets angry as the eye. It's hilarious. People, that's hilarious. It's ingenious, but it's a perfect representation. The narcissist is most comfortable at the bottom of the mountain because that's their base state. They showing you the peaks, so you hold on to the peak. You're trying to get back to the top, and they're pulling you down. But guess what? When you try to leave, or come leaving you, they'll try to push you back they'll push you back up the mountain a little bit, but they won't go all the way back down. They won't go back to the top. You'll never feel the same way again as you did you'll never feel the same way in the relationship with a narcissist. You'll never feel the same way in the middle that you did at the beginning. At the end that you did at the beginning. The beginning is the peak. Normal human relationships start off at the bottom of the mountain and you work hard together to get to that peak. That's why relationships move at a steady, normal relationships, non-narcissistic, non-toxic relationships move at a steady pace. You start off at the bottom of the mountain getting to know each other. And then you get to know each other. You build up to that peak and it's more comfortable for both of you at the peak. You peak at the same time. You don't get airdropped into a relationship like that narcissistic person. They will airdrop you in there. They will take advantage of you and they will treat you terribly. Narcissistic people, and then then guess what happens? You get out of a relationship like this, you're gonna want somebody else to airdrop you. You don't like this slow. Like when you spend a lot of time in a relationship with a narcissist, the love bombing phase is super intense. Slow doesn't feel good. It just doesn't. Slow does not feel good. One of my friends on TikTok and whatnot, her name is Carly. She goes about red high heels, like not high heels like the shoes, heels, HEALS, red high heels. Go check her out on all platforms. She did a video very recently. She said she doesn't want love to be boring. She's been in a few narcissistic relationships. She said she doesn't want, and I think her dad is a narcissist as well. She said she doesn't want love to be boring. Because love looks boring. I tell you, when people are not used to peace, peace looks boring. Peace is slow moving sometimes. I'm just telling you, you don't want to be airdropped. That's why narcissistic people, that's how they get you addicted, y'all, because you know what they can do. And they show you every once in a while, they show you flashes. Even if it doesn't go back to the beginning of the relationship, how good it was at the beginning, they show you flashes here and there. They'll show you that person that airdropped you at the top of that mountain is still in there. So they get you addicted. The highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows. Back, forth, up, down. Trauma bond. Boom. You try to cut ties. Look, you're trying to cut ties and run away from them, but you realize you bonded at the waist to them. You got a rope tied around your waist. That's what the trauma bond is like, y'all. When you're finally done and over this person, but you look down, you're trying to run away from them, but you look down, you're like, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm working hard as hell to get away from this person. But you look down and you got a rope tied around your stomach and that rope is still attached to them. They're still pulling you back to them. Emotionally, their rope is not an actual physical rope. It's an emotional rope. From the good times and the bad times, it's an emotional rope that is a combination of the good times and the bad times. You have to, and the only person that can break that rope is you. The only person that can separate the trauma bond, separate narcissistic robot resetting, powering down, powering back up. Ooh. So the only person that can break that emotional trauma bond rope is you. It is absolutely you. And you do that by getting it. You have to create some distance between you and that person. You have to. You cannot fully heal in the same environment that made you sick. It's impossible to fully break that trauma bond rope or you're still in the same household, or you're trying to get back to that mountain peak. Because when you're trying to get back to that mountain peak that you got airdropped on, you're trying to drag them up the mountain. They're heavy as hell. And plus they're trying to stay at the bottom. They're fighting against you. It's like when you got a kid in the toy aisle and they don't want to leave the toys, you got to pull them out of their damn arm and drag them. They hold them to the shelf. You got them by their foot. They still hold them to the shelf with their feet, their little feet in the air and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Just like that. You trying to pull them. Look, this is how narcissistic people are. That is the bottom of the mountain is stasis for the narcissistic person. Is the default setting for narcissistic people. It just is. I'm most comfortable at the bottom of the mountain. I just am. That's how I don't know, y'all. That's my basis programming. And no, I'm even though I'm most comfortable down here at the bottom of the mountain, I still try to take my wife to the peak because I know that she likes that stuff. That's what she wants. I love my wife. You know, do you love your wife, Lee? Do you really love? Can you feel love? Yes, I love my wife. I love my kids. I know people gonna say that, but like, yeah, it's true. But good cop, bad cop. Go watch the Lego movie, or just Google Liam Neeson. This video make a whole lot more sense. Yeah, I don't know. I'm about to cut this to the end, y'all. I don't know how the hell I just made a whole video off of this. I look the topic. It says vid ideas, narc Lego movie / good cop, bad cop, and I just made a whole video off of that. What? What in the world? I just made a whole video. I didn't know where I was going with that, y'all, but we made it, didn't we? We made it. Thank y'all for tuning in, y'all. Thank y'all. Look, so I'm so if you made it this far, y'all. If you made it this far and you're in the North Carolina area on the East Coast or whatever, come to the live in-person meet and greet, July 23rd, 2022, because you might be watching this video afterwards. July 23rd, 2022 in Durham, North Carolina. Live meet and greet in person. Me, Raw Motivations, Carrie McAvoy, PhD, Bree, Lisa Sunday. There's gonna be a lot of people there, y'all. Come through, say hey, meet and greet, Durham, North Carolina. Stay tuned for more, y'all. Like and subscribe for more. Mental Illness is out. Peace.